Hello, hello. This is Dr. Hines. Today I want to talk about student athletes. I think it is an honor, it is a privilege for students to have the opportunity to play sports while in high school, while in middle school. I think it's wonderful for a student to showcase their athletic ability to the point that they get notarized by the public, by the nation, as being one of the top athletes in a particular sport, whatever that may be. I think it's wonderful that a student has the opportunity now through NIL that they can actually profit from their name, image, and likeness based on their athletic ability. But I also think it's important that we don't miss the main thing. And the main thing is academics. And they call it a student athlete for a reason. You're a student athlete, if any students are listening to this presentation. You're a student athlete for a purpose because your school is giving you the opportunity to play a sport bearing their name. So if you're at said high school, you're playing basketball for that particular high school. You're playing football for that particular high school. But the main purpose of that school is to provide you with an education. And I think in the last, I would say 15 years, things have completely changed. To the point that the athletics have come before the academics. You have parents who will spend countless of dollars and give up their weekends for their child to participate in AAU tournaments all across the country, to expose them and their athletic ability that could lead to a scholarship. I can't even tell you from all of the parents that I've known that have dumped thousands upon thousands of dollars in their child's camps, personal trainers, AAU participation, AAU teams, in addition to playing for their respective school teams. It's hard to preach to a student that academics comes first when you have a parent or guardian who pays for a personal trainer, who makes sure you participates in every AAU tournament and pays money for that and goes and gives up their weekend so you can participate in that. And you have parents that will be present at every athletic event, but have never been to a parent-teacher conference. Now, we have to understand that the dynamics have changed. Parents can now log in to their computer and they can see their child's grades real time. Parents can get on their computer and they can email their child's teachers daily if they want to. So there really isn't a need sometimes for a parent to come in school. A parent can meet with a teacher through Zoom, Google Meet. I don't necessarily have to come into the building and sit down in a room and look at the classroom and have a conversation with you. I could be in constant communication with you. And to be honest with you, I'm all for that. I'm an advocate of that. But make academics as important as you make athletics. If you have a schedule for your child where you know every practice that they're in, every training practice that they're involved in, every AU event that they're a part of, and nowhere in the schedule is a study time, is a time for rest and reflection. Some of these students get up in the morning, they go to school, they get whisked from school, they go to a personal trainer, or then they go to practice, and they're not even getting in the house at night until 10, 11 o'clock at night. And then it's hurry up, give you something to eat, or pick up something on the way. You got to get ready for bed so you can go to school. Nowhere are we building in time for study and academics. Nowhere. We're trusting that the child figures it out in the meantime because I'm spending money making sure that you participate in basketball, making sure you participate in tennis, making sure you're going to every, batting cage and baseball, everything. I'm trying to make sure that I'm just making sure that I'm getting everything I can to make sure you can be the best athlete that you can. And in some cases, it's helping kids. And in some cases, it's really bringing that kid down. Because sometimes we've never asked the kid, what do you want to do? I like playing baseball, but I really don't want to play baseball as a career. I may want to do something else. But that parent is shelling in thousands of dollars. Personal trainers, tournaments, camps. I want you to be the best athlete you can be. And I've always said there's you can be the most skilled athlete, but nothing replaces commitment, dedication, and talent. Commitment plus dedication plus talent, you could be one of the top athletes to ever play a sport. But all three have to be at a high level. You can have commitment and you can have discipline, but if you don't have talent, I'm sorry. And you can buy all the personal trainers and put them in every AAU all you want. It is not going to develop talent. They'll enjoy it and they'll love you because you're giving them an opportunity for them to do what they want to do. But it may not yield to a scholarship. And so all that money you spent, camps, personal trainers, all these programs that they're in, and then now you have to pay for college. But you spend all of that because AAU. But academics has to be important. And in this current time, parents, I think it's 100% on the parent. The school can only do so much. And I'm not making excuses for schools because schools can always improve and do more. Outreach is a huge benefactor to student success. When teacher and parent are in communication. But with technology, the face-to-face has pretty much disappeared. I can email your teachers once a week. I can log online to see where your grades are. But then sometimes you see parents that know the information, but there's no intervention. It has to be a standard in the home that academics is important. Because once the child understands that athletics is important, they're going to put the athletics before the academics. I have talked with students who have come to me in tears because they had a game the other night and they didn't play well because they were worried about their biology test the next morning. And the parent chastised them because they were more concerned about their athletic performance during the game than they were about their test coming up. I've had students come to me distraught because their parent, their guardian, they're 100% connected to the athletic side. They're not concerned. And they go to the school and say, hey, I know you're going to pass my child. They're one of the top baseball players in the country. There's no reason how you're going to fail my child. There's no reason. It's shifted now. And I think some parents really come from a place of they just want what's best for their child. They want their child to have the opportunity to be great. And they want to eliminate all barriers for that child to be great. Maybe that child grew up, that parent grew up wanting to be an athlete. But there probably wasn't the resources, it wasn't the availability for them to develop their interest or their talent. So now that they're parents, They want to be sure that their children have every opportunity to be great. And I see them at the AAU tournaments every weekend. They're so excited. And I'm looking at them like maybe 2% of you will even make it to college playing this sport. Well, I'm on the travel team. That's great. But I have had conversations with parents, and they can talk more in depth about what's going on with their child in that sport than they can tell you about their academics. They don't know what tests is due. They don't know what projects are due. They don't even know off the top of their head what their child's grade point average is, but they can tell you what their points per game were every game that they've gone to. They're the loudest cheers in the stands, but the most absent when it comes to school. So, what is my point? My point is, parents, you have to make academics primary. You have to make academics as important, at least as important as the athletics. And you also have to build time for that child to be able to decompress, be with their friends, be alone. You know, this generation is different. This generation doesn't go out. This generation doesn't always want to go over their friend's house and hang with their friends. This generation is as much satisfied with being alone. They can stay in their rooms, they can read, they can listen to music, they can write, they can journal, and they can be fine for 24 hours just left alone. The only time they come out of that room is to use the bathroom and eat, and they're fine. They don't have to leave the house. When I was their age, every opportunity I had to get out of the house, I did. If I didn't do anything but go sit on the front porch, walk down the street, this generation, they won't go outside. I think the COVID quarantine may have had something to do with that, but they're perfectly fine being inside. And you have to have an honest conversation about what expectations you have for them as a student, academics, what their plans are, what is the goal, and what they want to do with their lives in general. And students, it's about balance. I want you to excel. I don't want to come off like I don't want you to excel in whatever sport you're gifted in. Do that. But it's also important that you excel and get that high school diploma and get the best grades that you can, because if you're going to take time to get up, get dressed, go to school, you might as well do your best while you're there. You might as well give the same effort that you do in your classes as you do in your sport. And then take some time for yourself. Take some time, even if it's just one day a week where I'm not studying, I'm not involved in my sport. I just want to be me. I want to be a 16-year-old. And I want to do 16-year-old things that a 16-year-old will do. Because I'm only going to be 16 once. And once that time is gone, it's gone. Student, athlete. They go together for a purpose. Until next time, this is Dr. Hines.